I want you to know if you're stuck in wounds, it's actually not really your fault. You probably have a lot of freaking trauma. And if that trauma can be healed, and it can, standing here as a witness saying it can, huge shout out to all the men that come to me in my practice that are ready to face their trauma, face their demons, and turn it into gold and step into this meaningful life. Okay, I'm nervous and excited to film this video. We're going to talk about the divine masculine today. I listened to a podcast a couple years ago about this girl. She said she had met this guy. He was her ultimate dream man. And she said to him, "You are the epitome of the divine masculine." And he was like, "I have no idea what that means, but cool, great." And I remember listening thinking, I don't know that I know what that means either. Over time and through different life experiences, I have started to unveil what the divine masculine, the divine role of men is, and have witnessed firsthand in my life that without a man stepping into his divine role, masculinity, and what that looks like, without that, he can never really feel fulfilled or at peace. I am nervous because I'm a girl sharing this video, and yet I have the most incredible masculine mentor that is revealing and unveiling what real masculinity is, what true masculinity is, and how we've got so jumbled up in society. And I feel this call for the men who genuinely want it and who are genuinely ready to share these things. So I'm going to be brave. I will give a little disclaimer. If you are in wounded masculine energy, this video will have truth bombs in it that will be painful or triggering. If you are triggered, I highly recommend you just sit with these ideas and consider it, because if you are willing to face how uncomfortable some of it might be, it is actually the key that will unlock your greatest joy, your greatest happiness, your greatest fulfillment, not only in relationships, but in your experience of being here, being human. So I think there's a lot of fun we can have with this. I will make the equivalent with femininity. And of course, I am still learning about these things. There might be multiple videos and follow-ups, and I'd love to hear your comments. You might hate me after this video. And that's a sure sign of where you're at on your journey. I will say that. One beautiful thing that I wanted to touch on that my mentor is teaching me and showing me about men. First of all, my mentor is a man, so has the authority to teach me about men, right? Thank you for good men in this world who are just freaking amazing and truly in their divine role. It is altering me, and I'm so grateful. So this person has taught me about this primal drive, this desire that is the deepest desire of every man to walk the earth, whether or not they know it. He said most men have no idea. This desire is stronger than the sex drive. This desire is stronger than the climb the ladder of employment, of like climb the corporate ladder drive, right? He says it is the ultimate drive that will bring him the ultimate joy, the ultimate peace, the ultimate fulfillment in his life. And most men are never taught about it. Most women have no idea it exists, and we trample on it. And this piece, if we were to know about it and truly honor and respect it. And if a man knew how to hone in on this drive, it would just skyrocket the entire system of society. Without further ado, this drive is the hero instinct. It is the most primal instinct in any guy. It has been there for centuries. And without even fully understanding it, they're starting to play with it as little kids, cops and robbers, right? All these things. It is primal in a man, and girls don't understand it because we don't necessarily have it, to want to be the hero. I feel emotional when I talk about this, actually. To want to be the hero in the story, to want to do something noble and brave and courageous with their life. My cat's going crazy. You watch any man who can touch, even through like movies, watching a movie of someone performing brave acts, touching on that hero instinct, right? Gladiator, Braveheart, Saving Private Ryan, like these movies that can make grown men cry unapologetically. And it sparks this thing in them that they have always longed for and can't quite describe and can't maybe quite figure out how to hone into in their lives. But this desire for meaning, this desire for purpose, this desire to be someone's hero is one of my favorite things about men. I freaking love it. And as my eyes have been kind of open to this idea, I'm having this mentor show me the difference between someone who is stepping into that profound, divine masculine and someone who's still stuck in wounded energy. This is going to be maybe or maybe not painful to hear, and I'm going to pop up some visuals of this on the screen, but if you can stop and see in what parts of my life am I still acting out in wounded boy energy, and how can I get to this place where I truly feel at peace and proud of me. This is the work that I do. I will say this. I'm going to say this. Up until now, I'm going to preface up until now, I'm like practicing that. I have been a sucker for wounded boys. I don't know what it is. I just see their pain. I see the trauma they've been through. I see that it comes from abuse and hardship, and I freaking melt. I love myself a good wounded boy who just wants to do better. And there's just this mother hen in me that's like, bring me all the wounded boys and let me destroy their blocks and limitations to having everything they've ever wanted. And I do this in my work every day. I do guided one-on-one trauma clearings to help heal this wounded part, all the wounded parts, masculine and feminine, to get into the divine roles. So I want you to know, if you're stuck in wounds, it's actually not really your fault. You probably have a lot of freaking trauma. And if that trauma can be healed, and it can, standing here as a witness saying it can, huge shout out to all the men that come to me in my practice that are ready to face their trauma, face their demons, and turn it into gold and step into this meaningful life. Before that, there just has to simply be an awareness. Why I'm creating this video is to bring awareness of what healed looks like with masculinity, what unhealed looks like. This is not a judgment because I will be making feminine, healed, and wounded. And I will tell you, I very much have been on the wounded side a good chunk of my life. So, okay, let's first talk about the divine roles of masculinity and femininity. The divine role of masculine is to protect women and children so they can walk the earth unharmed. The divine role of feminine is to bring a man, women, children back to their spirits, right? Back to their heart and connect us to the divine. So, also, I will say this. You guys have heard the phrase, a wounded man knows who to love, but not how to love. A wounded feminine knows how to love, but not who to love. Okay, this is going to be very important for both of these videos. A lot of these wounds are going to be tailored towards teaching you how to love and how loving looks different when you're in your wounds and when you're healed. So again, masculinity is about safety. It's about providing and protecting. If you think of a true hero, they are looking out for the underdog, right? So I want you to think of that as we read some of these things. So healthy and true masculinity is all about safety. He's not looking out for himself. He's looking out for the safety of women and children, especially, or like the underdog. This is often done in the face of incredible sacrifice or even self-danger. The wounded masculine looks out for himself. He sees others as a threat. They can be a threat to his independence, his life, his ego. His number one concern is his own freedom and how he looks. Healthy masculine is firm in his convictions and decisions. He knows who he is, what he wants, and where he is going. The wounded masculine will let people talk him in and out of things. He's very wishy-washy. He can't make up his mind about who he loves and why, what he wants, or where he's going. Healthy masculine will develop his intellect. He uses it to educate, help, and uplift others. The wounded masculine will use his intellect to dominate, to intimidate, and to dismiss others. He's often unwilling to ask questions or to be led or taught by others as well. Healthy masculinity is self-disciplined, especially in matters that affect the lives of women and children. So when you think of male sex drive, they are choosing wisely. They are withholding. They'll choose their partner wisely. They will be loyal and dedicated and committed to that partner. Wounded masculine is all about hookup culture, right? Get as many women as you can. It's kind of a game. It's meaningless. They struggle with loyalty. They see choosing a partner as being tied down rather than elevating. True masculinity assumes responsibility for his actions. He remains accountable and willing to make things right or fix things. The wounded masculine wants to say and do whatever he wants, and no one is allowed a conversation about it. True masculinity is the container to hold the feminine. I saw this amazing video the other day, or the guy was saying, if you cannot handle being in the presence of a woman while she has different varying emotions, if you can't handle that and remain safe and regulated for her, you are not masculine. He just straight up was like, that's masculinity, is being able to be a safe container for her to unravel in. I thought that was pretty interesting. Wounded masculine wants all the luxuries of a woman as his prize without ever honoring her true essence. True masculinity is providing and protecting, and that extends to his community. His instinct is to look out for others, to be this true hero. He earns his ranks through noble sacrifice and trust, building trust with people. He is looking out for the underdog. He's being there for others. He's showing up for people when they need him most. Wounded masculine walks around intimidating, proving his dominance, bullying. He is often scared inside, afraid to not be on top. He earns his ranks through elevating himself at all costs, is very ego driven. He demands his respect rather than earning it. I like to think of the difference between Mufasa and Scar, right? Scar demanded his power without ever earning it through his integrity. True masculinity protects and provides for the vulnerable, the tender ones. They protect their safety, provide safety mentally, emotionally, physically. Their mantra is, you are safe with me. You will always be safe with me. I've got you. Little boy energy is harming the underdog. It is taking advantage of the vulnerable, the tender, the innocent in any way. It's using the vulnerable for their own gain, to look good or to get what they want. This can often look like older men going after younger girls because they don't quite have the wisdom to know what's going on yet. Going after the sweet and innocent, the ones that are the most trusting. True masculinity takes action. There is responsibility, accountability. They fix things, they resolve things, they find solutions, they face their discomfort head on, and they improve the situation. They provide a safe environment for conflict resolution. Wounded boy energy is avoiding and blaming anyone or anything for their current situation or their predicament. In relationships, this looks like blaming their partner for things that are not going well. They wait around with unresolved issues, and they let the women try to fix things or deny the opportunity altogether for any sort of resolution. True masculinity honors, cherishes, protects a woman's femininity, her softness, her intuition. Even if he doesn't quite understand her intuition, her spirituality, or even if he has wisdom from the masculine side to add to it, he will guard and protect her side. He will seek to understand. He will bring his peace for the divine whole. Little boy wounded energy dismisses and mocks a woman's emotions, her intuition, her revelations, her tender vulnerability. He will call her things like crazy or say this is all in your head. He will dismiss her so that he doesn't have to be accountable or have any responsibility on his end. All right, here's this idea of decisive. So I have often gotten confused and been like, oh man, he's so decisive. He's such a dude, right? Making decisions, and this is what we're doing, and all of that. But as you take a closer look, true masculinity will make decisions for the highest and best for all involved. They will look and see future repercussions of certain decisions, and they will make decisions according to their vision of what that might do long term. Wounded masculine energy makes decisions that benefit him and satisfy the moment. True divine masculine is the giving energy. Little boy wounded energy is receiving, taking, thinking of his own gain, how to get what he wants. True masculinity honors, values, and cherishes women. He loves his mother and his sisters and the people in his life, the females in his life. He is capable of having just genuine female friendship because he cares for women. Little boy wounded energy sees women as a game, as a prize to win, or a threat, or unsafe. They often can't just have genuine friendship with women because what's there to gain for them, right? True masculinity has high morals. He does what's right at all costs. There is integrity there, even if it's at the cost of his own ego. Even if he doesn't look cool doing it, he'll do the right thing. Little boy energy lies to get his needs met. He pretends, he has a facade, he puts on a show, and he is sneaky behind closed doors. True masculinity values meaningful connection. He checks in often to make sure the people in his life are healthy and okay. Little boy wounded energy sees his wife and his children as annoying or inconvenient. He avoids meaningful connections with them. He dismisses connection as being feminine. Okay, healthy masculine assumes the role of teacher and leader. He takes his children under his wing. He gently guides them and shows them how to be successful in this world. He is the strong frame that the family thrives in. He is the king, while women and children are the throne and the people to protect and lead. Right? What is a king without a throne or people to follow? It's just a man standing there demanding. Little boy energy takes the back seat. He lets his wife take care of everything. He teaches through force rather than by example. He teaches his children to trust him and his power rather than to trust themselves or find their own solutions. True divine masculine is dependable. He's consistent. He's stable and reliable. The people in his life know him and what to expect. Wounded energy is the yo-yo. It's doting and kind and open one moment and it's upset and raging the next. It's this never-ending guessing game of what version of him to expect. Okay. I think I'm going to end there. I'm sure there's plenty more and I could go on. I'm going to end there. And I do want to simply say that a lot of us are wounded, both in the masculine and in the feminine, and it's okay. And yet there's a lot of sadness and a lot of unhappiness in the world because of it. And I feel divinely called to learn as much as I can about these things and share as much as I can about these things. And for those of you who are ready, who are like, okay, I see that I'm wounded. I see that I'm operating in a way that is not fun for me or other people. I'm not fulfilled. I'm not at peace. I'm not feeling like this is bringing meaning into this world. And I want to be different. I want you to know it's possible and actually really fun and really freeing to step into your true energy and to offer your gift to this world. I also want to say that it's not your fault that society has taught almost the exact opposite of what it means to men and to women to be who we are, right? And we have been taught so much and fed so much shit about what it's supposed to be. And those teachings of what we think is true masculinity or what we think is true femininity have really harmed our ability to connect with each other and to truly love. It's wild to see men drop into connection and drop into these roles and then instantly be like I'm not a girl. This is not for me, right? And then put up those walls and destroy the very thing that they want. I have had men look me in the eyes with tears in their eyes. I have never been this happy. I have never felt this much joy. This is everything I've wanted. And then instantly reject it and leave because society has ingrained an entire different version of them that they think they have to be in order to matter. And that is the very thing that sabotages this meaningful life for them. So I'm just swimming in it. I'm playing in it. I'm loving it. I'm loving my one-on-ones. If you would like a one-on-one with me, the link for that is below. Also, Wednesdays, we do group clearings, and I offer kind of like a guided meditation with self-compassion. Another ironic thing, I was looking this up the other day. I have dated someone that I genuinely cared for, and he continually told me, I'm here for peace. I'm here for peace. And I was looking at the frequency of peace the other day. Peace and compassion are the same thing. And, for any of you, if you have been hungry for peace in your life, peace and compassion both vibrate at 600 hertz. It's the same frequency. Self-compassion for trauma that you've been through in your life will clear out all of this wounded energy, all of this wounded way that we see ourselves and each other in this world, and try and grasp for safety. In a lot of ways, we're just hungry to feel safe. And we think that the way to be safe is to, like masculinity, is to assert dominance, right? We think that will make us feel safe. And the thing is safety is an illusion. Nothing is guaranteed in this life. Nothing can really be safe. And yet simultaneously, nothing can really harm us on a spiritual sense. We are simultaneously never safe and always safe at the same time, but we'll do these very destructive things to try and grasp our safety. And a friend said to me the other day, how many of us have died in the death of certainty, or been buried in the death of certainty? I can't remember how it was said, but it's like we're trying to remain sure and certain of the outcome, and will destroy things, very beautiful things, because we feel unsure, right? So anyway, my invitation to you is, if you are ready and wanting this in your life, feel free to come and see me and work with me in any way that you choose.